What up? 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 Yo, I ain't got much time. I ain't got much time to be playing around. The pleasantries, none of that shit. This is cause on Black TV. We gonna get straight into it. We gonna talk about this. I feel like a girlfriend I remember why she mad at her nigga. That's how I feel right now because I just got done watching One on One. I tried to get all the way through it. I couldn't do it. And we're gonna talk about the last season of 101. The last season of 101, that poop putt punani bumba cloud mother poop putt type bullshit. That white industry whitewash type bullshit. That white Hollywood type well, white Hollywood and Hollywood the same thing. That's oxymoron. No. But that whitewashed last season of 101. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. So, before we do that, once again, this is Cause I'm Black TV. We're gonna run down 101. We're gonna run the ones real quick. We're gonna run the ones real quick, and we're gonna run down 101 and then that last season. So, first, the premise: we got two parents trying to co-parent. They're separated, they're no longer together, but they got a beautiful daughter in Brianna Barnes, a teenager in high school. We got the mother who is Pam. I refuse to learn her character name. We got Pam from Martin, and we got Flex Washington, who is a sports anchor and I guess how to want to be a player type archetype nigga. And for Brianna, most of her life she's lived with her mother Pam. But Pam, I believe, is like a teacher or something. I didn't care. Once again, I didn't care to learn what the hell her mother does. But she's some type of, teacher or something to where she now has to be away for like a year in, I believe, Nova Scotia, Canada. So Pam and Flex decide that Brianna's going to live with her father, Flex, for a year. Okay? That's the premise. Yay. So Flex and Brianna usually are cool. They don't really got no problems because they only see each other maybe a couple of months out the year, or live with each other a couple of months out the year. So it's usually chill, cool time. But now Flex has got to be a full-time dad, and now he can't be having hoes around the house. And by the way, he got his best friend Dwayne, quirky type nigga, archetype, funny. You need the funny comedy relief usually of the show, and Flex can be doing what he usually does. He has to be more of an adult, be more of a parent now to Brianna. Brianna, is a teenager, so Brianna's gonna do what the hell she wants to do. She wants to, do these different things. She got her best friend, Spirit, beautiful, dark-skinned Spirit, and she got her other friend Arnez, who in the beginning of the show was like really obsessed with Brianna. They set it up to where, okay, we get to season 5. They set it up to where Brianna gets convinced by her father to go to LA. However, she takes Arnez with her. And this is where this show takes a U-turn. One on one. First, they get rid of Spirit. Spirit is I don't even remember how they got rid of Spirit. I don't even remember how they rid her off. I don't even remember how they said that she was no longer there. Spirit is just no longer there. She was the best friend of Brianna. And like they went through literally went through everything together. Low key, this reminds me of Moesha when Kim left. Like, dog. Or no, you know what? Probably be a better example is Hakeem. Because Hakeem was, no matter, as much as we love Kim, as much as we know Lisa, Hakeem was a true best friend of Moesha. So imagine Hakeem leaving the show. Like, that was her true best friend, was Spirit. A black, dark, chocolatey best friend. And now she's gone. So they get rid of Spirit. And then Flex is barely he's sprinkled into the show. Flex is not really even there no more either. So you don't have the best friend and you don't have a strong father figure parent in there. And what they did was, this is what they did last season of 101. Here's what they did. They said, how can we make this show look like MTV? How can we make this show look like Real World, Road Rules, any of them shows? Because that's what this was. They said, we're going to take the black kid, the black best friend out. We're going to take the black father out. We're going to this is what they did. They said, we're going to implement a white rocker dude. We're going to implement a white preppy girl. We're going to implement a Asian quirky girl. We're going to implement a wannabe thug type guy. And then we're going to implement some quote unquote parental, type of person. And it was just hard. Like, the show was horrible. Like, it didn't have the mood and the spirit no more of this show. The whole show became based around Brianna and Arnez. Will they be together? Will they not be together? Will they last? Will they not last? And like, it wasn't like, without the father there. Like, the father was a key integral part of what made that show work, because you needed that voice of Flex, talking to Brianna, and vice versa. And you took Flex out, you took the father figure out, which once again was the premise of the show, of Flex trying to parent Brianna, and Brianna trying to learn how to be an adult from Flex. So you basically broke that premise and decided to whitewash this whole show. You put in Kel, you put in Ray J, who I just found out Ray J's name in the show was D-Mac. D-Mac. So it's like, this brother twice now has a has a name that's D, then a nickname, D Money, D-Mac. Like, you couldn't be more creative than D-Mac for the only other black character on this show. Like, these like, go watch Boondocks, my nigga. Go watch Boondocks. Go watch how they talk dirty about BET, because this is during the time that we lost all our shows. Black people lost all their shows. We lost WB. So if WB didn't convert any shows over to CW, they were done. And so we lost all our black shows on WB. WB was canceled. And then was the UPN, which was the real urban, I forget what the acronym we made up for, the Urban People Network. Once they converted that into the CW, they got rid of all our shows, or the essence of all our black shows. And then on BET, you had the Frankie and Neffy show. So we really didn't have no black TV to watch outside of, you had to go off of cable to Boondocks and the fucking Wire. That's the only shows you really had during this time in like 05, 06. But it's like, they whitewashed this fucking last season. Like, it really pisses me off what they did with this last season. Like, if you were going to go, they were trying to go the different world route. Like how when what was Denise off the Huxtables? When Denise finally went to college and went away from her parents and was trying to learn, how to move on her own. That first season is what this last season of 101 was. Look at the first season of Different World. It wasn't. It was so bubbly, and it just it had no swag. Swag is such an overused term, but it had no swag. It had no black, that black essence, that black swag, that black swag. Like, the first season of Different World didn't have that, and nor did the last season of 101. Now, when you go to the second The second season of Different World with the music, the scenery, the more black people, the subject matter, the clothes, like everything, the music, everything was black. We black. This is what a HSBCU or whatever you call it, HBCSCU. I don't know. I'm fucking too turned up right now. Historically black college, yeah, HBCU or whatever. That's what that was. And I think it would have been dope to make the last season of 101 that. We don't need no white. We don't need to see no white people. We don't need to make this 90210. We don't need to make this Saved by the Bell. We don't need to make this that. It would have been dope to make an updated version of college of Different World like they're doing now with Grownish. Grownish is low key like an updated millennial version of Different World, which is dope. That's what they could have did with 101, and they didn't do it because they had to do what the industry does. They said we got to get every demographic. We got to get the white guy. We got to get the white girl. We got to get the Asian girl. We got to get the black, more thugger guy than the whole rocker black guy. We got to. It's like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, son. Stop it. You're trying to get all these different demographics, but forgetting you don't need to get more demographics. We already have a demographic. If a show been around 4 years, you don't need to change up if the food is good, you don't need to change the recipe. Why are you trying to change the recipe if the food is good? Because you don't know how the food is made. You just eating it and thinking, oh, I can make this. I'm eating this. This is what Hollywood does. This is what Hollywood does. They look at something and say, oh, I can recreate that. I can make that better. Or I can really implement that. Or recreate that. Not knowing the ingredients of what made that taste good. Not knowing what made that food what it was. That soul food. Not knowing what made that soul food what it was. They just look at it and say, oh, I can redo that. That shit ain't hard. And then the show wound up only lasting a year, if that. Because they don't care to know. They don't care to know what makes this show what makes it run the way it does. They're just going off how they think it makes it run. That's a problem. These shows and networks don't try to learn. They try to tell us. This is the real problem I have. They try to tell us what they think what being black is. They try to tell us what they think being black is. When we try to actually tell them what it is, then we become difficult to work with. We become difficult. We become whatever. It's like, no, this is not how it's supposed to work. Go listen to an interview with Sinbad. And I believe Lunel. When Sinbad had his own show. And they was doing all these different crazy things. It's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And they try to get him to have a white girl. It's like, no, we're not doing none of that. And they deemed Sinbad difficult. And they wound up deeming Sinbad difficult. And that's why they only had one season when Sinbad had all the tools to have a successful show. But this last season of 101 was horrible, bro. Like horrible. Whitewashed. All you had to do was make it a Different World updated version, and it would have still worked. It still would have worked. Maybe even without the father, it still would have worked. Because now you could have implemented somebody from Africa. You could have implemented somebody from down south. You could have implemented somebody that's really from the city. You could have implemented somebody. You could have implemented all these different characters, because all black people aren't the same. We all ain't from the hood. We all ain't, suburban. We all ain't, light skin. We all ain't dark skin. You could have implemented so different shades, different colors, different personalities of us. It would have made it dope. But they didn't do that. But yeah, the 101, the last season, that shit was horrible. Prime example of what Hollywood does with our people. And that's why we gotta, and this is the main thing I want to leave you with. This is why we need to have our own. This is why we need to have our own. And shout out to Oprah. I don't know what's going on. I've been hearing things over the past year or so about her not really owning the own network and how they kind of, you know, manipulated her out her own network, and how, and it's just like, oh, man, if Oprah can't do it, like, we got work to do. That's why we one person, no one man should have all that power. No one man can do this. Everybody has to work together. The revolt with Diddy. Diddy has to work with Oprah. Oprah has to work with Tyler. Tyler has to work with, you know, Leon Daniels. Leon Daniels got to work with, like, they got to all work together. Spike Lee. Like, they all got to work together to make this happen. We all got to work together to make this happen. Black people, black beautiful people, we all got to make this work. Not one man can move mountains. Like, we all, it takes a village to raise a child. We all got to do this. So the main key in this is we got to own shit, man. We really got to own some shit. Like, we really got to own. We got to own. We got to own. We got to own. Straight up. We got to own every industry of our own. Black Wall Street, back. We got to bring Black Wall Street back. We got to own. And that's my main point I wanted to end with. But this is Cuz Out Black TV. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.